Do you have unresponsive brakes that take a couple of pumps to get anything out of them? And you might have air in your brake lines. I'll show you how to take care of that. Hey everybody, Sherm and Lily here. We have been having some issues with our brakes in the bus. One day just kind of went all the way down to the floor and took me a couple pumps to really brake it all, and it scared the piss out of me. So we're going to do a brake bleed today. I'm going to show you guys exactly how we're going to take care of that. Make sure your vehicle is on a level surface and go ahead put a wheel chalk or two down. If you have an emergency brake that works, go ahead and use it. Mine does not, so that's why I have the wheel chalks. To get started, you're going to need some brake fluid, you're going to need a set of wrenches, something to catch the old brake fluid, and a trusty partner. Make sure you have the correct size wrenches for your bleeder screws. On average, for metric systems, it is about 6 to 10 or 11 millimeter wrenches. And then for A to C, it's about 5/16 to 3/8 inch. Make sure your brake fluid reservoir is full of brake fluid. Do not be shy. Go ahead, just fill that sucker up all the way. You're going to be bleeding a lot of it out anyways. As the helper, you have two main jobs. The first being to pump the brakes and hold them, and the second is to make sure that the fluid reservoir is always full of brake fluid. Now, whenever you are pumping the brakes, make sure you listen to the person bleeding the brakes in the back. Make sure to have a door open or have a window cracked, something so you can hear them, because they're going to be calling the shots. And then with the fluid reservoir, please make sure that is always full. If it gets depleted, you will end up putting air back into the system, and that's what we're trying to get rid of. When going to bleed your brakes, you want to make sure you do them in the correct order. So with my bus being a left side driver's seat, you want to start in the back right. It is always important to start the farthest away from your brake master cylinder. So my brake master cylinder is right up underneath my driver's seat. So the far back right is going to be the farthest away. Then you go the next farthest, and then you're left with one. So I'm going to start with my back right, then I'm going to go to my back left, then my front right, and then my front left. Now we're getting to the actual brake bleeding procedure. So before you have anybody pump any brakes or anything, just go ahead and loosen your bleeder screw. Okay, it just makes things a little bit easier once you go to actually bleed the brakes. So loosen that sucker up real good and then give it a loose tighten. Then you're going to have your helper pump the brakes 3 times and hold. And while they're holding, you need to release the pressure. It'll spit out a little bit, and then once things start coming out, just wait for it and then tighten it back down. And you're just going to keep doing that over and over and over again until you have a clean stream of brake fluid coming through that bleeder screw. The first brake that you do is going to take the longest. I believe it took us about 20 minutes to get clean brake fluid out of this back right one. So be patient. Make sure you're not adding any air into the system. Helper, yep, that's your job. And just stay patient. Once you have clean fluid coming through that bleeder screw with no air bubbles, make sure to snug it real good. You can see a little bit later on, I actually left one a little loose, so we had some issues. All right, Sherm live in the field here. I am at my front left caliper right now. And as you can see, I have 2 bleeder screws, one down here, which I've just completed, and one up here. If your brake caliper has 2 bleeder screws, just like mine does, just like the entire car, you want to do the one that's farthest away from the brake master cylinder. So we're going to do this bottom one here first, like we just did, and then you can do that top one. After you've bled all of your brakes, go ahead and fill up that fluid reservoir one last time. Make sure she's topped off, and then you are good to go. You have finished your brake job. Congratulations, you are done. just got them all. High five. It's cleanish hand. So here's all of the old brake fluid that was in the bus. At least the amount that I caught. There was probably about maybe twice or 3 times this amount. Get something better to catch it in than a big old bucket like this. Doesn't do well. So I wanted to show you the difference between this and new brake fluid. That is a very, very, very clear difference right here. So this is all the rest of the new stuff. I'm gonna be trashing all of that. But big, large difference in what came out of the bus here and the new stuff straight out the bottle. This has needed a full flush for a long time now. I'm glad we took care of that. It's sad that we had to get to it whenever my brakes started going out, but that's okay. It's done. It's done. It's done. Press down that brake. Let's see the difference in the pedal. Oh yeah. Oh, that's so much better. Yeah, go ahead, put that down again. You heard that?
Uh-huh.
I didn't like that.
I didn't either. It kind of went down a little further too.
Did it?
Yeah.
Let me check all of the brake pedals. All right, that is the brake job done and dusted. All right, good job, baby. You're a mechanic now. Good job.
I've always been a mechanic at heart.
All right, well, good stuff. We will catch you later. Peace.